All right, I found an interesting article recently talking about bold predictions that the Chiefs will make during the 2022 NFL offseason, and I want to talk about it. But first, how about those? All right, look, if you're watching, it's because you love the Kansas City Chiefs, and so do I. Have a Mahomes poster the size of the Statue of Liberty back there as proof. So hey, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn notifications on for daily news about our favorite team. All right, so this article is by Tim Capurso via clutchpoints.com, and I'll put a link to the full article in the description down below if you want to check it out. Anyway, he has 4 bold predictions that the Chiefs will make this offseason. So let's look into those, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this as well. So make sure to leave a comment down below. We all know the Chiefs are a Super Bowl caliber team, a championship caliber team. They made it to 4 AFC championship games, 2 Super Bowls, won one of them, all within the past 4 years. So every year they've been close or very close to making it to the big game. This team is built to win, period. But this author suggests, and I can't even talk, but this author suggests, and I do agree with a lot of it, that the Chiefs need to address some areas in order to remain competitive and make it back to the big game. We need a solid wide receiver. I've been saying this on repeat for weeks like a broken record. Yes, you have Tyreek and Kelce, but they are constantly doubled. And what if one of them gets injured next season? Then we know we have the running back situation. Are we bringing McKinnon back? I don't know. We have the O-line situation, which is pretty much a good-to-go deal, but we've got the right tackle. Is Niang going to be healthy? I saw a comment today, actually, that Niang's injuries could be based on his overall body size because he's so top-heavy. I have no idea, but it was intriguing to read. And then we have the defensive side of things, cornerback. What are we doing with Honey Badger? D-line, are we cutting Frank Clark? What are we doing there? So there's a lot going on. We all know this, but let's get into these bold predictions now that we've laid a little bit of the foundation. So number 4, he goes backwards in numbers for some reason. Number 4, he says the Chiefs re-sign Tyron Matthews. He basically says this is a crucial and essential move for the Chiefs. Tyron has been the center, the heart of the defense, and mentions how lost the defense looked with Tyron Matthews out in the divisional round of the playoffs against the Bills. I do agree. Our secondary looked lost, like their freaking GPS was out of service. I mean, yeah, it was bad. We don't have a ton of cash at the moment, obviously, but he says that the release of Hitchens might allow us to scrape up enough money to bring back Matthews. I agree to an extent, but I feel like the Hitchens money, in my eyes, priority is to go and tag Orlando Brown Jr., but at the end of the day, they aren't saving Hitchens money for someone in particular. More than likely, they're probably just saving as much money and doing all these moves that they can, and then we'll just spread it out and use it accordingly. Let's talk about these last few predictions, but first, if you're enjoying this video, can you do me a favor and hit that like button? I said like so funny, so that more Chiefs fans can find this content. Thank you so much. Okay, number 3 on the list is Chiefs draft George Karlaftis. Basically, if the Chiefs keep Tyron, they can focus a lot of their energy from there on the D-line via the draft, and Karlaftis has a strong potential, and the Chiefs will need all the help they can get. I personally hope Ingram comes back to help Jones. I just slapped the table to help Jones, but we all know we need way more help than that. Number 2 on his list, franchise tag Orlando Brown Jr. Yeah, I do agree with him there. The most important piece of that line is protecting the blind side of our franchise QB. So we have to make sure that is locked in, that is secure. We may not sign him long-term at the moment, but I think that we will get there sooner or later. And I did recently find an interesting article about Orlando Brown Jr. and how much it means to him to be able to play left guard. According to an article from ESPN that I will link below, it says the spot of left tackle was the dream of his father, longtime NFL offensive tackle Orlando Brown Sr., who died at 40 of diabetic ketoacidosis. That was a word. When Orlando Jr. was in high school in 2011. So it's pretty cool to me that he gets to play left tackle, and how happy that makes Brown Jr. because of his father and his relationship with him and all that. All right, let's get back to this list, though. The last on the list is number 1, the Chiefs trade for Calvin Ridley. He says this about Ridley. This is very bold, yes. This is assuming things don't work out for Calvin with the Atlanta Falcons, which is the big unknown. Ridley's season was cut short to mental health problems, with the Falcons saying that they will support the star wideout throughout it all. Ultimately, Ridley could decide that he wants out of Atlanta. If he does, the Chiefs need to meet the Falcons' asking price. Ridley, 27, had a monster 1,300-yard year back in 2020 where he emerged as a true number 1 wideout. Having Tyreek Hill, Calvin Ridley, and Travis Kelce would be a nightmare for defenses to handle, and Kansas City would have arguably the league's best quarterback throwing them passes. If Ridley becomes available, the Chiefs need to pounce. So yeah, Ridley spent the majority of the 2021 season away from the field. He stepped away to work on his mental health, and because of that, he did not really play last season. But yeah, 2020 season numbers look great. 90 receptions, 1,374 yards, and 9 TDs. He was drafted by the Falcons in the 2018 draft. Isn't set, though, to become a free agent until the 2023 season. So yeah, it would have to be a trade made. So what are your thoughts about this article? Do you agree with his predictions? If so, which ones? Do you think we should try and trade for Calvin Ridley? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments down below. I'd love to read your thoughts. An article from CBS Sports says this. According to NFL Media's Mike Garafolo, the Falcons say Ridley's situation hasn't changed, but they are hopeful he will return in 2022. However, Garafolo said it doesn't seem like there's been much communication between the team and the player. Ridley, 27, remains under contract with Atlanta through 2022. But if he looks to relocate from a Falcons team that is still rebuilding, or if the cap-strapped Falcons seek to save the $11.1 million remaining on his deal, the former first-round pick would surely draw a market. So, interesting indeed. Let me know your thoughts about all of this. My opinion, I could see us re-signing Honey Badger. I could see us, drafting a defensive end, an edge rusher in the draft for sure. That is a definite yes. Number 3, I definitely see us tagging Orlando Brown Jr. And number 4, I could see us making a trade for Calvin Ridley or some prominent receiver that is a dangerous threat. I think we do need it. So I agree with a lot of this. But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to read them. If you enjoy this video, make sure to like and sub for more, because I'm doing daily news about our favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs. So hey, Chiefs Kingdom. Until next time, let's go. How about those